this entire area all the way to Chestnut Ridge and up the entire Appalachians, you know, from the very tip even into like the ancient Appalachians, which start in Scotland and the Scottish Highlands, all the way down to where they end in like Georgia and stuff. It's all coal mine. Whenever they were all one, it was, you know, that whole coal scene, all the coal seams in Appalachia come from dead matter. And it came from the biggest mass extinction event in, you know, Earth's history. So to say that, you know, there's weird stuff comes out of the ground when you start opening it up and taking things out that have been there for millions of years, yeah, I think that's a little bit of an understatement. Weird stuff definitely happens all the time around coal mines because there's probably some stuff there that we shouldn't be taking out of the ground. We probably should have left some of that stuff in there.
My name is Tyler Hall, and I'm the director of Phantom Lights. When I was first asked to do a project on UAPs, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had thought of UAPs as UFOs. You know, you see them in the sky, and to be honest, I was quite familiar with UFOs. My understanding of UFOs largely comes from the diverse array of media I've engaged with over time. Movies, television series, and online content. Pop culture has shown a notable interest in extraterrestrial themes, which have significantly influenced my generation. This wealth of UFO material serves not only as entertainment, but also as a catalyst for contemplation, prompting my generation to ponder our place in the cosmos. The fascination with UFOs spans decades, weaving through various forms of storytelling that captivate our imagination and curiosity. Classic films such as Plan 9 from Outer Space and modern series like UFOs Revisited by Small Town Monsters continue to explore the possibilities of alien life and interstellar encounters.
Of course, we have to talk about it, but there's a rumor that Spielberg knew about this case, that he was in the know for some reason, and that he based the film.
However, the UAPs that this movie was to be made on were of a totally different breed altogether. These UAPs are referred to as phantom lights, earth lights, spook lights, swamp lights, a whole plethora of other names. As I researched the topic of phantom lights, I was completely intrigued, but what thrilled me even more was their prevalence in the Appalachian region. And as a native of Appalachia, born in the New River area of West Virginia, and raised in the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, the prospect of creating a film about a phenomenon deeply rooted in and impacting the people of Appalachia was incredibly exciting to me. This project allowed me to explore and showcase the mysterious lights that have been part of the region's folklore for generations, connecting my personal history with the cultural heritage of my community. The chance to delve into these occurrences and share them with a wider audience felt like a unique opportunity to celebrate and preserve a significant aspect of Appalachian identity. Through my research, I discovered that interpretations of these lights varied widely. Some believe they are a natural phenomena created by Earth, like swamp lights. Others think they are portals into other dimensions, places we cannot see with our own eyes, or a veil between worlds. Some even believe they are fairy lights, small sentient organisms that frolic throughout the woods. As I delved deeper, I realized that these lights are more than just a scientific curiosity or a piece of folklore. They were a bridge to understand the rich cultural tapestry of the Appalachian people. Each story, sighting, and theory brought me closer to the heart of Appalachia, revealing the profound connections between the land and its inhabitants. This film is not just about uncovering the mystery of phantom lights, but also about celebrating the unique spirit of the Appalachian region and its people. It's a homage to my roots and a tribute to the enduring mysteries that continue to captivate and inspire us. To deepen my investigation, I'm heading to Chestnut Ridge in Pennsylvania, a hotspot for this phenomenon. There, I plan to talk to witnesses and experts on these lights, gathering firsthand accounts and experiences. This journey promises to provide even more insight to the elusive nature of phantom lights and further connect the dots between folklore, personal encounters, and scientific inquiry.
The first time I heard about earthlights probably was whenever I was a kid, reading about ley lines and things like that in England, because earthlights in different cultures mean different things. So in England, of course, whenever you have your fairy tales, the earthlights representing some sort of elemental presence within the landscape. And oftentimes places that were believed to be associated with legend, like Tintagel, where King Arthur was said to have Camelot. These places are very pronounced in the legends with things like earthlights. Same way with Glastonbury and the Salisbury Plain and all these other kind of things. These places are rife with stories of earthlights.
Normally I hear stories about them flitting amongst the trees in the woods. Of course, I've read stories of them where they are in coal mines, things like that, where the earth has been disturbed. But I've also heard about them appearing before earthquakes. So again, with the earth being disturbed. We heard that around the Brown Mountain Light area.
That's Tennessee.
Yeah, it was North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we were in North Carolina, one of the witnesses had talked about, he called them mineral lights, and discussed that was just something that they said, which to me leans more toward the idea of the earth moving and things mixing, and that creates some of the energy that causes the lights. But yeah, a lot of the, I don't want to say fairy tale like, but the more whimsical stories seem to be, and they're going across a field or in the wood line. But you don't see them in the middle of the city or anything like that.
Right.
I have heard of them before. I don't know if ball lightning falls into that, but I've heard of all that kind of stuff before. It's, swamp gases that get spontaneously combust or get lit on fire by whatever natural means. People usually see them in swampier areas. This area is not as swampy. I mean, we're more of like a hilly, rolling hill area. We don't have like those low swamps like you'd associate, like the bayou and stuff like that. But there is a crap ton of wetlands around here, and you do get that gas reduction from all the wetlands, but you also get the same kind of gas coming out of coal mines too. That was always my understanding of it. That's how everyone explained it, was, swamp lights, fairy lights, I've heard them called before. It's gas burning off. Like, okay, yeah, that makes sense on the surface, but once you see them, it's pretty easy to tell the difference between gas burn off in a swamp or a coal mine versus fairy lights or phantom lights or whatever it is, because they look different, especially if you've been around things on fire before.
I think
There's a million names.
that's right. Yeah, ghost lights, phantom lights, St. Elmo's fire. It varies on different cultures, and the way it's defined is the way that you'll view them. So if we call them ghost lights, we will definitely be going out there and we'll be thinking, well, these are the disembodied spirits of the deceased, right? These are soul lights. These are some sort of orbs from a disembodied spirit or what have you. But I don't like to define them. That's the thing, is I think what we're dealing with here is some sort of elemental intelligence that exists within our world, and it's always been here. It's always been here. And the reason why we have so many legends about it and so much folklore about these kind of lights is because we as human beings have dealt with them throughout our evolutionary process. They've always been there. So I think that the best way to define these things is by saying that they are some sort of intelligent energy that exists within the world itself.
I think it depends on where they are, because I've also heard about them being around swamps, like swamp gas or whatever, and foxfire in the hills of the mountains. Just things that self-illuminate for whatever scientific reason. But then there are ones like, I just can't explain the ones that we saw in the Chestnut Ridge. Not saying that there aren't mines and things around, but I don't know. To have them show up and then be two different colors, and then when you get close to them, they disappear as if they know they're about to be discovered to a certain extent. To me, that has more of a sentient behavior to it.
Phantom lights are reported in various regions around the world, but Chestnut Ridge stands out for its high number of sightings and encounters. This region of Appalachia, renowned for its rich history and diverse cultural influence, boasts a wide array of lore and legend. Additionally, Appalachia has a deep history of oppression due to coal mining and other industrial activities. Could this historical backdrop of hardship and exploitation be linked to the frequent reports of paranormal activity, phantom lights, and UFO sightings in the area. Nestled in southwestern Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge is the westernmost ridge of the Allegheny Mountains, spanning approximately 75 miles from southwest Moreland County to northern Fayette County. This region is steeped in a rich history marked by its industrial growth, cultural tapestry, waves of immigration, and the enduring mystery of the phantom light phenomenon. Chestnut Ridge's history is deeply intertwined with the industrial development of Pennsylvania during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This region became a hub for coal mining and steel production, industries that powered the American Industrial Revolution. The Pittsburgh coal seam, one of the richest coal deposits in the world, runs through this area, making coal mining a dominant industry. The coal extracted from Chestnut Ridge fueled steel mills in nearby Pittsburgh, earning the city its nickname, Steel City. The mining industry brought economic prosperity, but also harsh working conditions. Miners faced long hours, dangerous environments, and frequent accidents. The cultural landscape of Chestnut Ridge is a mosaic of traditions brought by diverse groups of immigrants who settled in the area. The coal mining boom attracted workers from across Europe, including Italy, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Ireland, and Scotland. These immigrants brought with them their languages, foods, religions, and customs, creating a multicultural fabric that is still evident today. Music and folklore also thrived in Chestnut Ridge. Traditional Appalachian music influenced by the Scotch-Irish settlers blended with the musical traditions of European immigrants, creating a unique sound that resonates in the region's folk and bluegrass music today. Storytelling, another cultural staple, helped pass down legends and local lore, including tales of the mysterious lights that have long been part of Chestnut Ridge's lore.
Now, what's also very interesting is it's a melting pot of different ideas. So in the Appalachian region, you did have Native American populations, and all the Native American populations had a belief in earth lights. So these aren't just white people coming around and saying, you know, we're going to throw some earth lights here. You know, the Cherokee had stories about earth lights, and other various indigenous Native American tribes all had stories that there was something out there within the environment that was inexplicable, okay?
As the demand for labor in the coal mines grew, so did the influx of immigrants. These newcomers were instrumental in building the infrastructure and communities that supported the mining industry. Despite facing discrimination and difficult living conditions, immigrants formed resilient communities, establishing ethnic clubs, mutual societies, and fraternal organizations to support one another by providing financial assistance, healthcare, and social networks. These organizations were crucial in helping immigrants navigate their new lives in America, fostering a sense of belonging and solidarity. Immigrant workers also played a critical role in labor movements, advocating for better working conditions, fair wages, and workers' rights. Strikes and labor disputes were common, and the collective action of these workers contributed to significant improvements in labor laws and workplace safety standards.
So this whole area that's called Brownstown, and I don't know if you saw the sign back there when we were coming in, there was one for Redtown, and there was a place called Bluetown as well. Brownstown is the only town left, though they were named after colors because of the mines. They had brown mine, red mine, blue mine, Brownstown, Redtown, Bluetown. Redtown and Bluetown are gone. There's only like one house left for Redtown, and Bluetown there's nothing left there at all. I mean, you might be able to find foundation, but pretty sure someone owns all that land now. But this whole area, this graveyard included, was pretty much all founded because of coal mines.
The people of these areas were part of union-led labor strikes known as the Chestnut Ridge Coal Wars. The Chestnut Ridge Coal Wars were a series of labor conflicts that took place in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, centered around the coal mining communities in southwestern Pennsylvania, particularly along Chestnut Ridge. These conflicts were part of the larger coal wars that occurred across the United States, driven by miners' demands for better working conditions, fairer wages, and union recognition. Coal mining in the Chestnut Ridge area began to boom in the late 1800s, driven by the rich Pittsburgh coal seam. The mining industry brought significant economic growth, but also harsh working conditions. Miners faced long hours, dangerous environments, and inadequate pay. The absence of safety regulations led to frequent accidents, resulting in numerous injuries and fatalities. Living conditions in mining towns were often squalid, with miners and their families residing in company-owned housing purchasing goods from company stores, and essentially being trapped in a cycle of debt and dependency on the mining companies. In response to these conditions, miners began to organize and push for unionization. The United Mine Workers of America, the UMWA, founded in 1890, became a prominent force in advocating for miners' rights. The UMWA sought to secure better wages, safer working conditions, and more reasonable working hours. However, mining companies were extremely opposed to unionization, fearing it would reduce their control over the workforce and increase operating costs. In the early 20th century, a series of strikes and violent clashes between miners and mining companies in the Chestnut Ridge area erupted. One of the most significant strikes occurred in 1910 and 1911, known as the Westmoreland County Coal Strike. Miners demanded recognition of their union and better treatment. Mining companies responded with aggressive tactics, including hiring private security forces known as coal and iron police to intimidate and attack striking miners. These private forces, along with local law enforcement, often clashed with strikers. Tactics against the miners included eviction from company housing, blacklisting, and violence. The Chestnut Ridge Coal Wars were part of a larger pattern of labor unrest in the industry, including the famous Battle of Blair Mountain in West Virginia in 1921. Although the Battle of Blair Mountain did not occur in Chestnut Ridge, it was part of the broader context and influenced labor movements across coal mining regions, including Pennsylvania. The Westmoreland County Coal Strike of 1910 and 1911 stands as one of the deadliest and most significant labor conflicts in the history of coal mining in southwestern Pennsylvania. This strike highlighted the extreme conditions faced by miners and the brutal measures taken by coal companies to suppress unionization. During a confrontation between strikers and the coal and iron police, gunfire erupted, resulting in the deaths of several miners and police officers. The exact number of casualties remains disputed, but contemporary reports indicate that at least 6 people were killed, making it one of the bloodiest days of the strike. As the strike continued into 1911, violence escalated. Striking miners and their families faced evictions from company housing, and many lived in makeshift colonies under harsh conditions. The UMWA provided some support, but resources were limited. Despite the adversity, the miners' resolve remained strong. The violence and unrest eventually drew national attention, and President William Howard Taft's administration intervened, sending federal mediators to negotiate a resolution. However, the coal companies wouldn't budge, refusing to recognize the union or make significant concessions. The Westmoreland County Coal Strike officially ended in March 1911, after more than a year of bitter struggle. While the strike did not achieve all of its goals, it was a turning point in the labor movement in southwestern Pennsylvania. The persistent efforts of the miners brought national attention, and over time, public sentiment began to shift in favor of labor unions. The strike highlighted the brutal conditions faced by miners and the extreme measures taken by coal companies to maintain control. It also underscored the resilience and solidarity of the mining communities, whose sacrifices paved the way for future improvements in labor laws and workers' rights. In the years following the strike, the UMWA continued to grow in strength, and significant legislative changes eventually improved conditions for miners. The strike's legacy is a testament to the courage and determination of the miners who stood up against oppressive conditions, risking their lives for the promise of a better future. Their struggle laid the groundwork for labor reforms that would follow, highlighting the importance of solidarity and perseverance in the face of overwhelming adversity. As we ponder the mysterious lights that flicker in the woods of Chestnut Ridge, we are reminded of another kind of light cast by the headlamps of coal miners who toiled in darkness. This unexplained phenomenon is as fascinating as it is a symbol of the unseen and forgotten struggles in the mining communities. The oppressive conditions faced by miners and their families, marked by dangerous work and economic hardship, remain a stark contrast to the mysterious allure of the phantom lights. In 2022, the Small Town Monsters crew, led by owner and director Seth Breedlove, began filming for Sasquatch Unearthed, The Ridge, in hopes of capturing evidence of a Sasquatch creature in the area. And this is what happened.
We were there filming Sasquatch Unearthed, The Ridge, which was the first season of Sasquatch Unearthed that Small Town Monsters filmed. So we were there looking for Sasquatch, and we did the wood knocks, the whistles. We heard coyotes. I don't recall hearing any wood knocks, but we did hear what was like a wind chime type sound.
I think whenever we deal with earth lights, it's something that's rather tenuous. I don't know of any researcher that really goes out with the intention of tracking down an earth light. Now, there are places around the United States and around the world, like the Brown Mountain Lights and the Marfa Lights in Texas, where people deliberately go because these lights are so prevalent within the landscape. But in my experiences, and most of the people that I've spoken with, earth lights appear in conjunction with another type of investigation. So, and that's what happened with Small Town Monsters. We were on the Chestnut Ridge investigating a Bigfoot encounter that happened very close to where this incident took place. And we were doing everything that people do on film, you know, hitting on trees, doing Bigfoot whoops and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, something kind of weird. Ricky's down at the other location, and every time he whistles, they're getting a response that sounds like someone taking a fork and tapping it against a glass bottle. Like it's going tink, tink, tink. But it's only when he whistles.
Did they do a call earlier?
They've done a couple, yeah.
A single call?
No, they were doing whoops.
See? We didn't hear that.
Yeah, we didn't hear that.
I think we have a really clear call then.
Good.
Yeah.
We're not getting any kind of response. A coyote here until Seth Breedlove, you know, he was with me, and we heard a very low moan. More of a moan than a howl, as a matter of fact. It was something that was off in the distance, and it was definitely distinct from the other sounds that were occurring within the landscape. You know, we didn't really know what to make of it, but then shortly after this moan was heard, we heard what sounded like wind chimes. Now, as an investigator, I've never experienced this sound before.
They just did a vocalization and we could not hear it.
Just like that whoop?
Yep, right now.
We should walk back up there and see if we
Agree.
we should walk back up there and see if we can get him. Can you give us like
over there?
2 minutes to get up there,
I
Eric?
heard two times here, and I guess like a bird sound over there too.
Mhm.
Right. I don't know what it was. It's like chimes, like wind chimes, like house. That's what we heard. And then he just said that he could have sworn he just seen somewhere. My dad said there was a branch that broke or something. So I don't know.
2 to 3 minutes to do another call.
But then there were these lights that we would see. There was an instance where we were seeing lights that looked like other people on the crew, because we were split up into different groups. It looked like people in a different group further away from us had a flashlight on, or their headlamp rather, because they had headlamps. And they were walking toward us, but we had walkie-talkies, and they weren't walking toward us, and they didn't have the light on.
But what coincided with these wind chimes, with this sound, was the appearance of earth lights. Now, not just one, but there were 3 earth lights that were in a line, and it looked as if they were walking along. Then all of a sudden, they went up into the trees about 20 feet. They stayed there for a while, and then they just disappeared. Now, after this initial sighting of these 3 particular earth lights, then the lights started to manifest all around the investigators. There were 3 teams of investigators, and everybody was having their own experience with these earth lights. And the only way I can describe it, you know, as somebody that experienced it, it was as if they were paying us a visit.
Insanity. Zach?
Zach.
I can't explain it. If that wasn't you over there, it wasn't running. It was slowly moving, bobbing.
No,
through the
we were
woods.
running. I mean, I was running, and she was running behind me.
Hey, Chris, Josh. Chris, Josh. Come here a second. Hold on. So, when we saw the lights, Chris, that were on this road, they weren't far down the road, were they? Maybe 50 yards, 75 yards?
The ones actually on the road.
Yeah. We thought that was them.
Yeah.
That wasn't them. They were 150 to 200 yards down the road.
Really?
Jeez. And they came out of the woods over here.
Yeah.
Like right.
Probably on. Yeah, the
right-
other side
right
of
about
those
there.
trees.
Yeah, just the other side of that tree's right there is where we saw them come out. And we thought that was you.
And the ones we were seeing in the trees were closer. They were.
They were
They're,
right.
they're claiming, like, right
there's a
up
light
in
right
their
there.
face.
Route coming down towards us right now.
No.
Unless it's.
Looks like somebody's walking towards us, up towards where the,
Someone has a light on.
somebody has a light on because they're walking towards us.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anybody in between us, Eric. There's that light again.
That's probably Ron. It's got to be Ron.
Ron, do you have your light on?
Negative, but I see the light too.
Holy shit.
There's no way.
Down here
I got
with us.
Is there somebody?
Are you
by
kidding me?
themselves?
Ron and Josh are down here, and it's in between us. We got it on the camera.
I'm on camera too. Let's go toward it. Just went out. That's on camera. That can't be. That's gotta be over there. There it is again. This stuff is velvet. There's no way. This is.
But the part that was really exciting was whenever our group had got done looking at the cemetery, and then we saw this big white and red light that were bright enough that they were reflecting the pool of water on the ground. There was like a puddle of water, and you could see the reflection from the puddle. And they were, like I said before, far enough apart that it looked as if a truck had been parked sideways, and you could see the headlight and the tail light. That's the colors that they were and the distance they were. But as one of the people in our group walked toward it, they ended up going closer together until they just disappeared, I believe is what he said. I didn't walk toward it. Part of my role when we're on filming is to stay back anyway, so I don't want to get in front of the camera. So I was staying back and watching it, but they were the largest spook lights that I've ever seen. I would think basketball size or more. And I wasn't the only one that saw them in that group. I think Ron was with me at that time too.
Completely caught off guard by the mysterious lights, the S-Team crew tried to make sense of what they had witnessed. Their experience shared similarities to local Chestnut Ridge eyewitness Dalton Himbersky's testimony.
This is Brownstown Graveyard. We used to come here when we were kids because my friend who was like my older brother's best friend growing up, we went to school forever together. Anyway, he told me a story about this place that was great for ghost hunting, and younger me, like, 14, 15, 16, even into like now, still love ghost hunting. It's cool to try and see maybe the other side. But he told me about a story here on prom night. There was not the prom queen, but a girl going to prom gets dumped by her boyfriend of a long time, maybe. The story, every time I hear it, the story is different. So I'm gonna give you like the abridged version. She gets dumped by her boyfriend or finds him cheating on prom night. She's heartbroken, world shattered, life's over. So she comes to this graveyard here in Brownstown and she hangs herself. And ever since then, if you come here on the Apollo Ridge's prom night, you can see her apparition moving through the trees or hanging from the tree. Now, so the one time me and him were out this way, and me, my friend who told me about it, and my older brother, when we were driving through, and he slams on the brakes of the car, and there you see this thing off to the side, moving almost. I thought it might have been like an albino deer or something, because it was white, and it was weird looking. He was like, "That's her. That's the girl right there." And I was like, "No, that's not it." I didn't believe it. I thought it was a bunch of hocus. So anyway, years later, I'm probably 17 or 18 maybe at this time. me and a couple of my friends, I think it was me and 3 other people, we come out here one night because they wanted to see some stuff, and I told them, yeah, sure, we'll go to the graveyard. Maybe we'll see something, maybe we won't. Might see a bear. That'd be the most interesting thing we can see. That's what I was thinking. So we come out here. It's not super late. It's not like 3 in the morning or anything. It's probably only about 11 o'clock, maybe midnight, so not crazy late at night. We're all, I think it was a 4-seater car, and there's like 5 people stuffed in it. So, you know, we got people sitting on each other's laps and everything else. And while we're sitting there, we start seeing these lights. And at first I was thinking, it's got to be like a car or a local or something, because it's not terribly late. It's the summer. Someone might be out here, you know, having like a little campfire, or just, you know, taking a hike through the woods, being weird. Maybe someone's doing the same thing we were doing and they just parked further away. But then we started seeing more lights up and around over there where supposedly the girl hung herself. And they weren't like something being like a gas being burned off. It wasn't like a torch or anything. It was like a weird looking orb, like a globe thing floating through the woods, except it wasn't one. It was like 2 or 3 of them just moving around, almost like they were interacting with each other, like they were living out a past life, or they were communicating or something along those lines. And at this point in the car, like, I don't have a scientific explanation for that, because it's, you know, you start seeing orbs floating in and around and through trees, like moving through the trunk of a tree and coming out the other side. Science starts to fail you a little bit. So, you know, of course, everyone starts, you know, my hair on the back of my neck, it's even standing up right now just talking about it. But it's, you know, I'm like full fight or flight response. You know, I'm ready to like go out there and see what this is. Like, I want to go confront this thing, because the flight part of my fight or flight doesn't work that well for some reason at this point. And everyone else is absolutely terrified. And we're trying to get so they want to leave. They, you know, the guy driving the car is like, I'm getting out of here. This is too much for me. Like, I saw what I wanted to see. Let's go. And I'm trying to convince him, like, no, let's watch this. Let's play this out. Let's see what happens. You know, you might see something more. This might be even cooler than we thought. Because also, you know, me with my scientific skeptic brain, I want to see more of this. You know, I want to see the whole phenomenon. Maybe like we're witnessing something that maybe it doesn't know we're here. Maybe it just does this when no one's around. So of course, you know, I want to stay and watch the whole thing. And everyone else is like, no, absolutely not. We're getting out of here. You're crazy. So we go to start the car, and the car doesn't want to start. Now, granted, high school kid's car, not, you know, it's nothing fancy. It was an old, very piece of shit car. So he can't get it to crank over. It's like, it's starting to crank, it won't fire over. Finally, it does fire over, and we, like, you know, we all look up out the window, and we see the lights are now moving towards us. And there's one that, it's like about the size of a yoga ball looking thing, and it's halfway in the ground, and it's gaining speed coming through here, passing through all these trees, through the gravestones, everything else, coming to us as we're, you know, peeling tire, backing out of here onto the main road, trying to get out. And as soon as we got onto the road and got the car turned, then the guy was going to put it down and drive, the orb kind of like met us. We kind of like got hit with this light. But as soon as it hit the car, it was just kind of like a flash and gone, and then we were out of there. And that was the first time seeing the lights and, you know, super weird stuff out here. And that was an experience that was absolutely terrifying, because like I had never seen anything like that before. I had no explanation for it. There was no science in my mind that I could think of, like, oh, it was just, you know, swamp gases burning off, or it was the old coal mines underneath us, you know, something like that. None of that made any sense. The only thing I could think of was that was some weird paranormal stuff we just witnessed, and it was a lot. It was the most I'd ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen that much activity since. That was like the big highlight of, you know, spooky shit.
After hearing from multiple eyewitnesses, it was time for me to head into the field and try to experience this phenomenon for myself. We met with paranormal researcher Ron Murphy and his son Donovan Murphy in Liverour, Pennsylvania. There, Ron shared many fascinating Chestnut Ridge legends.
This is a place where the town would have made some sort of commerce dealing with furs at the time. And then after that period ended, we went into the canals, which happened in the 1820s. And then about 30 years later, we have the railroad coming through. But it was At the time of first settlement, a lot of Scots-Irish would have been here, and maybe a town of 40 people. Not a lot of people, definitely under 100 people. But then whenever the railroad came through, it would have been a fairly sizable town where the coal miners in the area would have gathered together and had their own baseball team. It would have had a hotel here for the weary travelers that were coming across, either on the canal or on the railroad. So it would have been a bustling place, right? It would have been alive. People would have been born down here. People would have died down here. This is where you would have went to school, you would have went to church. So this would have been, a neighborhood with all the energies that neighborhoods have. And now we have nothing, right? And the reason for that nothing has its roots in the paranormal. Whenever you have this kind of society, you need someone who is going to take care of you. And inevitably that falls to a wise woman or the witch. And as the legend goes, there was a hedge witch down here, somebody that lived right at the border of the town, right? So they knew that her powers were possibly sinister, but they needed somebody. They needed someone to know how to birth babies and to give suggestions on when to plant crops. So she was essential, but she wasn't part of the community. And that's great, fine, and everything is fine until things start going wrong. And as the legend says, babies were now being born stillborn, whenever she attended their births. And, the crops weren't coming in, things were failing. So they looked to each other and they said, something is wrong. And of course, obviously they had to do something that was making the good Lord mad, and their attentions turned to the witch. Now, how do you get rid of a witch? Well, if we look at America in 1692, the best way to get rid of a witch was by strangulation, by hanging them. But the settlers down here, this was a very rural area, again, Scots-Irish, and we know that the last witch was burned at the stake in Scotland in 1727. So it's very possible that some of the people that lived here may have witnessed that, right? And if they didn't witness it, at least their parents or their grandparents did. So in their mind, the best way to rid an abomination in their village would be by burning. And so the story goes, they gathered up the witch, they tied her to a pole very near to where we are right now, and they set her on fire. And as the flames lapped about her, consuming her, it is said that she put a curse on the town, and she yelled out that 100 years from this date, I will send enough water to quench these flames. And May 31st, 1889, that's when the Johnstown flood came through and destroyed this town, right? So that story in and of itself is a bit, macabre and morbid and everything like that. But we know from a very early date that this area was known as Satan's Seat, as if the devil himself was enthroned down here. Now that may be because of the actions of the witch, that she was dealing with Satan, or it could relate to what had happened with the townspeople murdering an innocent woman as well, so it could play either way. But from that time on, there have been a lot of stories of things happening down here, paranormal related. The woods themselves shifting. So somebody is down here and all of a sudden they find that they're on a whole other path someplace else. Also the idea of the witch's house is also a part of the legend, that you can sometimes see a house where she lived, but it's never at the same place and it moves around. And the idea that there's also residual hauntings down here. The town was actually, bulldozed over by the Army Corps of Engineers in the 1950s. But to this day, people come down here and say, did you see the steeple on the church? We saw the church there in the river, or we saw this school, or we saw this building, but there's nothing here. But they're still seeing the remains of the town that is no longer here. And of course, down here, one of the very first experiences I had as a paranormal investigator, and we're probably going back about 20 years, people have reported seeing Bigfoot down here, UFOs, ghosts, but there's also reports that there was a werewolf down here, right? So before we have the dogman on the radar, people were reporting seeing a werewolf down here. And I thought, you know, as somebody that has an interest in the paranormal, I think that this is something that I want to investigate. So another paranormal investigator and I use that term loosely because at that time, anybody that had, you know, a camcorder and an interest was a paranormal investigator, right? So we came down here one evening and it was after dark and we were on this trail right here and we started seeing these little orbs, okay? We didn't really know what to make of them or anything, but this was the first time I've ever experienced orb activity. And then we get out onto the bridge and then I noticed that all around us looks like static electricity. Like if you would pull a cover off of your bed at night in the wintertime, that kind of static electricity was all over us. And I thought, you know, this is odd. You know, it's time to get out of here. So as we turn to cross this bridge that's coming up, right at the entry, right where the woods meet the bridge, this glow emanates. It looks like a flare. It looks as if somebody took a road flare, turned it on, and it only lasted probably about 3 or 4 seconds, and then it kind of just flittered off into nothing. There was no sound. It wasn't casting any kind of light. It was this one pinpoint of light that had a contained light to it. So it wasn't like it was lighting up the woods or anything like that. It was lit within and of itself, but it wasn't casting any kind of light. And it went off, and I was like, oh crap, we have to go back that way to get to our vehicle. So as we start walking across the bridge and come to the place where the orb came on, which is right about where we are right now, something now is following us over in the woods on this side right here. We didn't see anything, but we had a projection in our mind that it was something predatory. So we keep on walking, and all of a sudden we find out that we're no longer on the trail. We feel these branches hitting our knees, you know, things are catching us and everything. And lo and behold, you know, as we should be following this trail right now we're off into the woods, which is strange in and of itself because people talk about the woods shifting and everything. So it seemed as if something happened to us, that the woods shifted. And not only did they shift, but they put us right in the same path as whatever is now following us, okay? So panic sets in, and then I hear my name being called by a disembodied voice that comes from the cemetery that's up on that hill. So whenever I hear my name being called, now I'm able to turn off and face the cemetery, and that's how we found the trail again. We got back. So nothing ever came out of the woods. It followed us. You could hear it breathing. You could hear it taking in air. The fellow partner that I had with me as well, we could see in our mind that it was something, you know, you could see teeth, and a lot of this stuff was probably just our preconceptions about, we were looking for a werewolf, right? So in our mind, we see a werewolf. But whatever was going on at the same time, there was this almost uneasy feeling as if something was showing us what it was without actually confronting it. So that was a very weird thing. So I do believe that, you know, the idea, and this is not all new age and, you know, everybody hugging each other and singing Kumbaya and stuff, but I believe that the world is a living organism, and if we are good to it, it will be good to us. And when we start damaging it, we're simply damaging our own home, and there's going to be some sort of revolt that takes place.
After hearing Ron's depictions of local folklore that spread through the heart of Chestnut Ridge, I eagerly awaited our night investigation. Unfortunately, I am unable to include that footage in this film due to it becoming corrupted. Was this just reality of living in the modern world, where technology can fail you at any time? Or was this malfunction directly caused by something otherworldly? That night, Dalton, Keith, and I camped on an abandoned bony pile of coal and reflected on our great adventure into the unknown.
How each just place has a different aura or essence to it.
Yeah, even, you know, a little 10-foot square area. You know, at the cemetery we were walking in earlier tonight, and we were doing investigating there. There's a small little area. We all noticed like an atmospheric change of some kind. It got much colder. It just felt more ominous there. There was, you know, a certain feeling of like dread in the air. Everybody got goosebumps at the same time.
Immediately.
And we were talking about how there's certain areas like that, even in a larger location. The larger location might have a certain atmosphere to it, but even within a larger location, you have a specific little spot where there's like, it's almost like a specific hotspot within a hotspot of activity. And that kind of goes along with what Ron had experienced around the old town of Liverour, those trails that we walked around, and how there was a specific area right at the beginning of the bridge where I think I believe the crew from Skinwalker Ranch was doing some investigating there, and they also said that specific area right at the beginning of the bridge there had like some type of anomalous activity or some type of phenomenon that they had witnessed there, and they recorded with their instruments that they brought along with them. But that's also where Ron saw the lights, specifically at that area as soon as he entered it. And while we were there, I will say that I noticed like the same type of atmospheric change we noticed in the cemetery, right at that specific spot from the bridge, and with the cemetery in the far right corner, near a specific headstone. So yeah, there's like these weird specific areas that you'll notice that seem like they have more activity than others, even within, a broader area that's a hotspot.
And just like tonight, when we were at that one monument or gravestone, everything changed.
Yeah,
for us.
Everything became dead silent. It got much colder.
No wind.
Yeah, no wind at all.
Super cold.
Everything was completely died down.
I felt that way in Derry when we pulled into that parking lot.
Yeah.
Before he told that story, he said, "Here, go here, pull in this parking lot." I thought he was gonna have us turn around somewhere, and he told us that story about that helicopter crash.
Yeah.
How it killed 3 or 4, how many ever? 10 people, 10 or 11 people.
10 or 11, yeah.
Yeah, 10 or 11 people, and they triaged people in that. What was it, a school or church?
It was a church. Yeah.
Church. Yeah.
Church.
And I felt that immediately when we pulled in there.
Yep.
Did you feel that?
I did notice something, yeah. I wasn't even sure he was going to tell us anything about that church.
No, I didn't either. I thought we were just turning around.
Yeah.
Unsatisfied with ending my film on the disappointing note of corrupted footage from our winter expedition, I decided to revisit the Chestnut Ridge in spring. I reconvened with my team, Ron Murphy, Keith Hembersky, and Heather Mosier, for another investigation. This time, we were fortunate to have the guidance of seasoned paranormal experts Chris Brinker, Connie Brinker, and Marzana Brinker from Fay West Paranormal, whose local expertise proved invaluable.
My name's Chris Brinker. I'm one of the founders of Fay West Paranormal, and this is an area that we've been investigating for, 3 years, and just pretty much anything paranormal happens here.
My name's Connie Brinker, and I'm another founder of Fay West Paranormal. I've had many experiences here with the ghost lights that we see, or the orbs. They come from anything from melon-sized down to little sparks in the woods, and we've actually been catching them on film recently.
I'm Marzana Brinker, and I am the daughter of the two founders of Fay West Paranormal, and I have seen a multitude of different types of lights here. Sometimes it'll look like a phone flashlight walking back and forth across the road, or a lighter almost dancing in the woods back and forth, and up and down sometimes even.
And we came up here to investigate, and that was the first time we had experiences with the lights in the woods. I saw something flash. It almost looked like a camera flash, but then it dimmed down to the size of like a lightning bug. But this was the end of February, beginning of March. There was still snow on the ground, so there's no lightning bugs. But it sat there for a good 5 minutes, and then we started hearing footsteps come right towards our vehicle, and there was nobody there. So we started coming up here more and more often, and started seeing the light.
Obviously, this area was just mined so heavily. Like every town around here is a coal patch town. Up here, this whole valley that we're near, there was, I don't even know, like every 100 yards was another little town named after the mine. So there's a lot of underground activity there, and that's always been a theory of ours too. Sometimes we've heard like machinery sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just can't tell where it's coming from, but it almost seems coming from underground. We've had military helicopters come up and circle around, and I follow, I get on the exchange where you can see all aircraft that are in the air, and they're not squawking. So I don't know what they're up to, but when we'll come up sometimes, you'll have them flying around, and just weird spikes in electricity and things that shouldn't be. You're in the middle of the woods, you shouldn't be getting these. So I wonder sometimes if the mining, they use the already open underground to use as a military base, or I don't know, aliens, I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's dread, but
the lights I never feel threatened by, ever.
Once in a great while, it'll send a chill up your spine that you shouldn't be here. It's that kind of thing, like something's
But I feel
telling you
like
it's time
I
to
never
leave.
seem to get that with the lights. That's more when you start hearing the sounds, the approaching footsteps, because we've had them like literally almost run up to you. You feel like something's trying to push you out, rush you out. And but the lights I've never felt really like that. Any of them, even the bright one that we saw on the road. And
They feel peaceful.
yeah, it almost felt like inviting, to a point. So I don't know if I'd ever follow one of them into the woods.
Can you guys explain what you're doing?
So, every time we come up, which is every other weekend, we leave an offering to whatever's here, try to make peace and tell them we're not here to cause harm or, disrupt its activity. Go on being you. You do you.
You do you.
But it's something to say, you can trust us. We're here to give this to you.
And that's, we were just talking off camera about how we did a period of time where we didn't bring any equipment and we just came up and hung out. And it was after that we started getting the lights on video. It was almost like, okay, I can trust you, so I'm going to let you have this little peek of what you're seeing.
Awesome.
So that was really interesting.
So we saw you folks present a gift, okay?
Yes.
What do you think you're gifting? I think that's the ultimate question, right? So you're leaving something, and if we look at different cultures and different religions around the world, there are reasons for doing that. What do you think your reason is for doing it? Who do you think the gifts are for?
I believe it's for the animals that are out here. Hunter gifts different things.
Okay.
She has given things more for
deities.
Okay, right.
So we just bring something bright and shiny that something would be attracted to.
Okay, so that's a good question. You said, or that's a good response. You said deities. In your mind, what are we talking about? Like a nature deity? Or are we talking about something that's here within the land, or something that visits us?
For me, I leave them for a multitude of deities. I usually ask in return for different things, whether it be activity, safety. I mostly give my offerings to Slavic deities. So Divana is the deity of nature, so I usually leave bones for her. And Marzana, which I am named after, is the Slavic deity of winter. So usually when we're up here in the winter time, I will bring her some like animal blood or meat, and just ask her to keep us safe and maybe give us a little bit of activity.
Right. So if we would go to Europe, how is that goddess represented within their culture?
They do some practices for the transition from winter to spring for Marzana, where it's a little morbid, but they make a doll and they drown it at the end of winter to represent the coming of spring.
But you have elements in there, right? You have the idea of water and all the things that are around here as well too, right? I think whenever you symbolically talked about the idea of a bridge, right, the crossing over between two worlds, I think sometimes we come into these settings and you can see it quite literal. Like when we were down at Liverour filming, we have a bridge there that literally crosses into, it crosses the idea of water, which is seen in so many cultures as that separation between two worlds, right? That thin veil between two worlds. So you see this area right here as another world, correct? We're stepping into its world, right?
Correct.
Not the other way around.
Correct.
So you see it necessary to kind of appease whatever deals that lives here, right? Because we are kind of trespassing.
Right.
And it's better to be welcomed than
And that's what we do. We ask it to trust us that we're not going to harm it.
Okay.
I can't remember how many I put. We'll figure it out. What I did each one is I left it real time, real view. This will be looking this way, and you probably won't even hardly catch them when you see it. And then I did slow motion wide view, and then I zoom in and did slow motion. I don't even remember where this one is. Right there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Boom. That is cool. That's up in the tree there, and it looks like a spark, like you said.
And like I say, you really have to know where you're looking. There was that one.
That reminds me of ball lightning.
Yeah.
You did a great job cropping that.
There was that one. This one's real bright. Wait till you see this one.
Red one. Yep.
Do you see how it had a tail?
Yeah.
Can you replay that one?
Yeah.
Where's Ron at? Did you see this?
I did not.
Dude, come here and look at this, dude.
It looks like ball lightning to me. Okay, it looks familiar. It's kind of similar to that.
It's just like a spark.
I don't know if you guys can see it good or not here.
It's like
It'll be up in here. There was
All right. See
the
that?
watch now when I slow it down, and then watch the zoom in, watch the tail on it.
Oh, that is really
Like it had movement.
It does really.
What
look-
camera are you filming this on?
The AX700.
Okay, sweet.
Is that
The
right?
Sony?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You got good light.
This one I think's down low. Like you can't even tell. There's two of them. Those were up that
Dude,
way.
we were seeing, that's what we were seeing at the cemetery too.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
and there, when we were like, is this our eyes?
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, you and Dalton really.
Like this is actually, it's that dark
Oh,
up here.
wow. Do you see the other one there, too?
Yep.
She was right. It looks just
So-
like fire.
Yeah.
It looks
it's
like.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
And we were real good at debunking them because we'll watch. We did catch a couple. Like, oh, we got one, and then we watched, and it was a plane. You could you'd catch it then later.
It's good,
so
yeah.
we were
Being
making sure that
objective.
we didn't have that. And
But the ones you were seeing, that was low in the. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that was all this way.
Oh, that was that
all
was
up that way. Yep.
Yeah.
We've
So-
seen them down here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw probably a melon-sized red ball
In
down
this
in here
open
one
area,
night. Yeah.
Right. But getting back to what you were saying about fire, and Dawn, you'll be able to relate this story. The first time you ever saw any of these earth lights, we thought it was a fire. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And the weird thing is too, is if you look at the mining history, all the miners of the early days wore fire headlamps. Their headlamps were lit.
Yeah.
So it could have a lot to do with that as well.
It's just like down at Brown Mountain.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Brown, yeah.
Yeah.
The I guess folklore down there is that it was a Native American killed in battle,
Yep.
and his wife is out looking for him with a torch.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, earlier today. These are all really cool. That's why I said even before white people came around, these things were still being seen, and then they were, using that as part of their legends as folklore as well.
But yeah, my drone will act real weird, like electronically. You'll take it off and it'll get up and it'll just start acting crazy.
And the video will glitch.
Yeah,
it looks
it'll
like
glitch
it's
real
sitting,
bad.
jumping back and forth.
And then I'll hit the home button and it'll land in like completely wrong place. Like
Oh,
it'll
man.
land-
Sometimes it won't come back.
Sometimes it won't come back. Like so, I don't even use it up here anymore because I'm.
Scared you're gonna lose it in the woods.
Yeah, but anywhere else I have no problems with it. It'll go up and operate perfectly fine. So odd.
The Brinkers shared numerous stories, theories, and evidence about the lights, encouraging us to open our minds to the possibility of witnessing them ourselves. As night fell, we quickly began to experience activity. I just got goosebumps right now.
It's warm. There's a pocket of warm air right here.
I just walked through cold air, and I've got goosebumps up and down my body right now.
I feel warm air. There's a pocket of warm air like right here.
Really?
Yeah, right here. There's like a pocket of warm air.
I'm feeling like a coldness. Did you guys get goosebumps coming down here? Feel any kind of change? Did you hear that?
Yeah. We definitely felt change.
That was a
definitely.
whistle right there.
So sure, that's a whippoorwill too. But the thing is, though, is every noise we hear that as well. See, that's the other thing I'm thinking about as well. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come down here.
It's hard to debunk that.
Oh,
that,
it
you
sure
know,
is,
down in woods like this with so much activity of other life that is known. Like, whoa, bat flew right in front of my face. Let's kill the lights and just sit in the darkness for a little bit.
Probably get things kind of settle around us.
I actually feel very. Like I feel like I think it's a good vibe actually.
There's really no fear down there.
Yeah, no, I like it here.
This is very
Good
comfortable
place to
right
camp.
It feels homely to me or something.
See, we were talking, it felt like we were being led down here.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of melodramatic, but it felt as if, hey, we should come down this way.
Yeah.
And we felt a definite change in temperatures.
And then we came to this particular area right here simply because you would just say it has kind of like a warm feeling, right?
Yeah, that's what Keith was saying, yeah.
I almost feel euphoric or something. I don't know what it is. It just feels very nice right here to me.
Good, Keith?
Yeah. I'm trying to just listen.
But it does sound almost like voices, like they talked about, like trying to tune into a radio.
The sound we were hearing couldn't be captured by the camera and microphone I was using. It's best described as distant radio chatter. This sound puzzles me because I can't make a clear connection between it and the lights, adding to the mystery of Chestnut Ridge and the strange phenomena that occur here.
Hello? It's not a person.
That thing was on all. That thing was 4 legs. Yeah, that thing was on all 4.
Here, come up here. Shine down in there, Keith. Deer, maybe? Shh. What in the...
It sounded like it was clumsy.
Yeah, like a deer. It's strange that one doe would be bedded down here.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that'd be the case.
See this nest kind of thing?
You know what's weird? Did the other noises stop?
Whoa, what is that?
What? Something flew.
Oh yeah, it's a bat or something.
Did you see over here? Are those bent like limbs and stuff right there?
Yeah.
That looks created.
Right, look down here. Look at that ball.
Oh, I see it.
Here, Keith, hold this. Let me hold the flashlight.
That was weird. Yeah. What would it have been behind us the whole time though? Like letting us walk by.
Why don't we move it when we were coming down?
And then we were led here. And then this is, let's go film this. Filming some of this. Like this nest area, it's all bedded down. Like a big bed. See that?
Yep.
That's strange. And that's where it was.
This is like solid rock. You're not gonna find cracks in it. Unfortunately.
I haven't seen breakage. I've seen no breakage either. The problem with this is it was loud and it was moving, but it stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, it stopped down in there. It's still down there.
Yeah, that's true. I did hear it moving away, but I think I don't know.
Find anything?
Well, yeah. We saw a few lights down on the road.
We've been seeing them up here too.
Have you? And then we walked past this like nest site, almost like this big bed. It was huge.
Oh, really?
Like both of our vehicles put together in all greenbrier and thicket and just right off the road. We walked right past it and we were sitting there for probably 10-15 minutes and then all of a sudden something got up from that area. We didn't know it was there before.
Oh, no kidding.
And then we didn't know that nest was there. or that bed, and something hopped up and took off. And it was, I mean, it was loud and making all kinds of noises, and ran through the woods.
Bigger than deer.
And we couldn't see it at all. Yeah, I'd say it sounded a lot like a deer.
Okay.
It was on all fours. You could easily tell that.
It was clumsy, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, deer, bear. There's a lot of bear up here.
Could have been a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big bed.
It just seemed like it was heavier than a deer, kind of. Like it had, like the way its movement was.
And it wasn't really spooky.
Like it almost like it had paws instead of hooves or something. Like the way it.
I gotcha.
It could have been a bear. Thinking about it.
All right, Ron. Can you tell us what we're trying to accomplish here?
Sure. So we've been out here for a couple hours, and we have been seeing some light anomalies. You know, nothing spectacular or anything like that, but things are going on. So the next step we're going to do is that we've heard wind chimes preceding these lights. So our suggestion now is, our theory is, what happens if we project this sound out into the environment? If the sound does have something to do with the lights, then this might be something that triggers the frequency to allow that to happen.
All right, Keith. No.
That was really freaky. Like I saw a red one and I put my hand up and I swore I saw it on my hand.
When I slow the footage down, light anomalies become clearly visible to the left of Chris just before he spots them in real time. These anomalies are distinct from the digital noise produced by my Sony Handycam camera, as they are significantly larger, brighter, and exhibit movement patterns similar to the lights Chris captured. The way these anomalies move and their brightness suggests they are not simply artifacts of the camera, but rather part of the mysterious phenomena we are investigating. This adds another layer to the enigma of Chestnut Ridge, making it even more compelling and perplexing.
I do have the IR light, but it's not going to reach over there. Just, I mean, barely reaches.
It was very dim though. It wouldn't have, like, it wasn't bright like a laser pointer would be.
These lights manifested while we were conducting an experiment using and recording wind chimes. It raises the question, is this just a coincidence? Or are the phantom lights we observed attracted to the frequencies produced by the wind chimes? The timing and nature of these lights appearing during the experiment suggests there might be a connection.
Moving up closer.
Keith and I decided to move the speaker closer to the area that the Brinkers refer to as the bridge. They believe this location acts as a gateway to another world, where the lights we're investigating might originate. While at the bridge, Keith and I experienced a profound sense of disorientation. We saw unexplained lights and heard what I can best describe as an electric charge moving across the ground. The sensations and phenomena we encountered at this site seemed to amplify the theories proposed by the Brinkers, adding a new layer of intrigue to our investigation.
I feel like kind of disoriented here.
Yeah, I do too. I'm feeling kind of like unsteady.
Yes, out of balance. Yes,
I
same.
fall over.
Me too, when I was walking around. You hear that? Like right here, dude.
It sounds like this.
Yeah. You hear it?
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah, dude.
Here, I think we should pause it for a second, see.
It's like leaf litter is like barely moving, not like not like a squirrel but it's like something very small.
It's all around us.
Oh yeah. Dude, there's no wind. I feel like stale. Like
yeah.
I'm also really hot here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it is hot here. It's
I keep getting like goosebumps. I don't know if it's just you know, kind of freaking myself out a little bit or what.
I feel like I'm almost feeling like the constant noises we're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like
it's hard to breathe.
Yeah, it's very stale. There's no air movement at all here. It's very, very calm wind-wise. But I almost feel like the constant movement we're hearing is not even really like, it just sounds like little tiny, almost like water is dripping off the trees almost.
Yeah, like pitter patter. Like
I almost feel like it's like a static charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good way to define it.
It almost seems like it's little static electricity just charging everywhere around us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Are you seeing any of these red lights down there on the road?
Red lights on the road? I don't know. I thought I saw one a little bit higher in the trees.
Just look down this road a little bit.
I just saw flashes a little bit higher up.
Yeah.
Like top of the tree line kinda. Above the trail. Just saw 2 flashes at the same time. I just saw another one to the right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing them. Red, right?
I just saw a white one right there. That was a bright one. Oh, that one was bright.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing them.
That one was bright. What? That was like a star, but like flashing. That was really bright on the left side over here.
Oh, I saw it again. Deeper though in the woods. How far? How?
Yeah, I'm seeing it too.
I'm trying to base it off the road. How close to the road did you see it the first time?
It's definitely deeper.
Deeper, yeah. I think they're seeing. They're saying they're seeing UFOs.
Yeah.
It's kind of dangerous. Do you feel that way?
Maybe almost like a storm. Like it's like a force of nature. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm feeling like very like my balance is totally off.
Yes, same. Yeah, my balance is awful right here.
I don't know if it's the unsteadiness of the trail or something.
I mean, I feel pretty grounded when I'm on unstable. Like I feel unbalanced.
Yeah.
I feel kind of disconnected.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously every crack and crinkle in the woods is not something paranormal or supernatural, but like that was so strange. All around us was those like the way you explained it was
like water,
static or something. Yeah, or water or static.
Almost like if like a breeze would blow through and move a couple leaves, but there was absolutely zero wind. It's weird because there was.
It's no wind.
This is
which
exactly
strange.
how it was when we were at the cemetery. There was absolutely no wind. It was dead still. It's
Yep.
exactly how it is right now.
In the middle of winter.
And it was totally clear as well.
After encountering a wide array of phenomena at this central location in the heart of Chestnut Ridge, we gathered to reflect and discuss our final thoughts on the phantom lights and the broader mysteries of the mountain. The experiences we had, ranging from disorienting sensations to strange lights and sounds, prompted a deep and thoughtful conversation among us. We considered the possible connections between our findings and the local lore, and contemplated the implications of our observations. This reflection marked the culmination of our investigation, leaving us with both new insights and lingering questions about phantom lights and the Chestnut Ridge.
I think kind of after the night investigation, the biggest thing that kind of wraps everything up is that we go back to this energy, whether it be noise, whether it be us. There's some kind of energy here that's causing a multitude of things to happen.
Absolutely.
I'd have to agree with that. Definitely.
And also, like when we were up here with Heather for the first time in Yukon, the first time that we filmed up here, again, we were left with the feeling that these are all personal experiences. You saw things, your daughter saw things, Heather saw things, we all saw things. Some of them we saw collectively, some of them we saw individually. So it really does depend upon how you interpret what's going on around you. You know what I mean? It's a very personal thing. It's almost as if this is a communion with what is going on out here.
The energy you put out, you get back.
Yeah, I think that might be it as well too. But I think whenever Heather and I walked up there, I think the conclusion that I've come to is that you can definitely feel that you are entering a different world, you know?
Yes.
Not to sound too hokey or anything like that, but we are definitely leaving one type of reality behind and entering into something else. And I think how we approach that new reality is how we interpret everything that goes on within that reality. You know, whether it's a sound or a light or you know, whatever the case may be, we're interpreting it by how we interpret the environment around us.
I liked your way you said it earlier. It's almost like we're standing in the doorway to something. I'm not quite sure how to take that step through.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. And maybe taking that step through is never meant for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we can only get to the threshold, and maybe things can pass over here onto this side, and we can catch glimpses of them.
Right.
But maybe we are never fully aware, or maybe we can never fully comprehend what that other side actually is. We get glimpses of it, we get feelings of it, but we never can actually get that tangible proof that we're looking for.
In the heart of the Chestnut Ridge, we have journeyed through the shadows of the unknown, seeking answers to mysteries that have long captivated man. Through the stories of witnesses, the lights in the sky, and the whispers of the night, we have uncovered fragments of a greater truth. This journey has been more than just an exploration of phantom lights. It's been a voyage into the very essence of human curiosity and the endless quest for understanding. Yet, in our pursuit of these elusive lights, we have illuminated the resilience and wonder that resides in all of us. For now, we bid farewell to phantom lights, knowing that the search for answers will continue, driven by the endless curiosity of those who dare to look beyond the ordinary. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.